Okay, so this is my latest Great Eastern Cutlery purchase that I used to fulfill my addiction. And this is the Great Eastern Cutlery number 82 Dixie Stockman. It's a regular Stockman, except for it's got some different blades on it. It's got the normal clip point blade, although it's a kind of a different shape than most Stockman knives. It's got a Wharncliffe here instead of a sheep's foot. It's got a Wharncliffe. And then instead of a spay blade, it's got a drop point, or a skinning blade as Case might call it. But yeah, so those are your three blades. You can see here, Ute Cutlery. This is the Ute model. Great Eastern Cutlery. Yeah, you're not going to be able to see this real well because camera. Right there you can see the, it's the 82. It's made in 2018. And it is carbon steel, obviously, just like most Great Eastern Cutlery knives. So this is the Dixie Stockman. This one is in the, I forget what they call this bone. But yeah, it's in some sort of jig bone that looks pretty, looks pretty good. The jigging on it is, really uniform. It's not like Case's jigging that's super random. I will say I don't love the jigging the most on this knife, and I have two other Great Eastern Cutlery knives with jigging, and I would say that both of those jigging I like more than this one. But I like this overall knife quite a lot. You see right there, you got kind of a different shield for Great Eastern Cutlery. Normally on their Ute models, it's like the quote-unquote hot dog shield, or the shield that says Ute, at least in my experience. And this one has the houndstooth shield, which they do use, just not as much as those other two shields. I think the bone covers on this knife look really good, other than, like I said, the jigging looks kind of uniform, but that's not the end of the world. Of course, it's got nickel-silver bolsters. Your blades on this knife are fairly thin, which means that the clip point blade does flex a little bit. No big deal. But it also slices really well, which is awesome. Cool thing about having a three-bladed knife is you can kind of use your blades for different things. You can use the clip point blade for like main tasks or like food prep or whatever. Use like the Wharncliffe for opening boxes and stuff, which is what I've been using it for. And then you can use the drop point as just like a little backup blade and just keep it sharp and everything. I will say the drop point blade opening action isn't great on it. But that's not the end of the world. Just a little disappointing coming from Great Eastern Cutlery, but I'm sure there's a reason it's like that. Maybe they had to have the action be not as good on this blade, so it didn't have blade play or something. I don't really know. Of course, with this being a Stockman, it's not unusual for there to be some blade rub. Not going to be able to show it. But this Wharncliffe blade does have a little bit of blade rub right about here, where it rubs when I open the drop point. So, yeah, it does have a little bit of blade rub. But on Stockman knives, that's pretty normal and not really an issue at all. But yeah, this knife looks really good. I've enjoyed carrying it for like the past 4 or 5 days now, and I'm glad I decided to get it. Now, what happened basically is this website called Knife Connection. They're a Great Eastern Cutlery dealer. Occasionally, they'll get like the models that I have thought, and I think most people thought, have already sold out, and they'll get like one or two, or a few. They still had Eureka Jacks up until like a week ago or 2 weeks ago. So I'm not sure where they came from, and they just got a bunch of 62s in. They're all probably gone though, because they were the Stag 62s. And they had a canvas micarta version of this like 2 weeks ago, and I was kind of regretting not jumping on that. And then I was just looking on their website for whatever reason, I don't remember why. I think I was looking at the 29s, the Stockyard Whittlers, because they also have those, if you're looking for those. And I scrolled down and I saw this, and I'm like, I'm buying it. So yeah. So I don't know where Knife Connection gets the like extra like knives that I think most of us thought were already like all sold. But sometimes they have them. So if you're looking for a knife that ran a couple months ago or something, you might want to look on the Knife Connection. I don't think they have any 33s though. But yeah, so Dixie Stockman. And then I've been carrying this in this traditional pocket knives leather pocket slip here. I ordered this like a day or two after I ordered the Dixie Stockman, because he was having a contest or giveaway or something where if you bought something off of his website, he would enter you in that. And I had wanted one of these anyway, just to have like a really nice leather pocket slip. My collector knives one is good, but this is better. This is also more money. The collector's knife slip you can add on to any knife purchase for under $10. This is $20. I would say, it's worth it. Vegetable tanned leather, I think is what he calls it, which basically means, there's no dye or anything involved in this. And this smells like just straight up leather, and it's awesome because I love the smell of leather. But of course, with this being, vegetable tanned leather without any dye or anything, as you carry it and use it and everything, it'll start to, kind of get darker with oils in your hand and your sweat and everything in your pocket. You can see already after 4 or 5 days, it's already started to get a little bit darker in some areas. So I'll be interested to see how this ages, and so far I really love this pocket slip. If you're looking for a really nice pocket slip, go to traditionalpocketknives.com and get you one of these for like $20. They have, or actually, I think this one was $25. I think the small one's $25 and the large one's $30. So $25, $30 gets you a really nice leather pocket slip to protect your knife for a long time. Now I'm not necessarily all that concerned about scratches on this knife, because as I use it and everything, like I'll be setting it down and it's gonna get scratched. That's just part of having a pocket knife. But I figure having it in the leather slip might keep it more protected from my sweat, which would allow it to not rust, basically. Because as most of us know, Great Eastern Cutlery knives are assembled using a lot of carbon steel. So you get really sweaty on a hot day, or if in my case you work over a donut fryer and you get sweaty at work, or you work outside or whatever, having a way to protect your knife from your sweat isn't a bad idea, in my opinion. So yeah, Dixie Stockman traditional pocket knives pocket slip. And that's going to be it for this video. I'm going to stop talking before this video goes any longer.